Marvel's Illuminati is another very interesting team that I wanted to take and transfer over to DC. Now, this team is just one big think tank of influential characters in the Marvel universe. People who have power over a dominion of people, or maybe even own their own countries. And people who have power in the other sense of being super smart, very intelligent. These are a group of people who have to make tough decisions based on what they think is right for humanity and the advancement of humanity. Now, I know DC probably has some form of Illuminati out there. I think the closest one would be Quintessence, but they're on a universal type of level. I wanted to bring this down and keep it to an Earth-based level. The Illuminati has a lot of connotations to it, and not all good ones either. So what I'm going to do with the DC version is there are going to be heroes and villains. More so maybe anti-villains who are going to be much more comfortable making these tough decisions and living with the consequences. I feel like if you're going to be part of an Illuminati, there needs to be a side of you who enjoys making decisions for the planet when the people who inhabit that planet don't even know that there are people pulling the strings. And I feel like this is just a thick-skinned type of a job. So I'm not going to give you different teams of an Illuminati. I'm just going to give you one list of all the DC characters I think could be suited for this team. The first character I threw on this list is, of course, simply put, Batman. I don't think there really needs to be too much explanation on why. He's a billionaire with a technological company by day, and he is the most mysterious man hidden behind a black cape and cowl by night. With the amount of resources that Batman has, this is the type of character who could easily be part of an Illuminati squad and would have what it takes to make certain decisions for humanity and planet Earth. Now, my argument against Batman would simply be, I don't think that's the mentality he has. I don't think he would want to be part of this team. And what it would really be is he would be offered a role. It would be his to take or not. It would be his decision not to join. Batman's secretive and knowledgeable, but a lot of the times he likes to keep that stuff close to his chest and he doesn't share it with many people. And I don't think he would have any interest in doing that part of DC's Illuminati. But as much as there is an argument against him joining, there is an argument for. At the end of the day, he did make Brother Eye, so take that as you will. Next up is Lex Luthor, pretty much the exact same reasons that I just had for Batman. Now, the only thing about Lex Luthor is he likes power, he likes control. How do you avoid Lex Luthor joining this team and becoming a little too power hungry? That is, of course, a question that would be asked amongst this team and something that you would have to try and figure out. Although the one thing I do know about Lex Luthor is at the end of the day, he really just does not like aliens. And if Earth was to be attacked by some sort of alien presence and the Illuminati had to step in, you can bet your ass Lex Luthor will do whatever he has to do to make sure that threat does not harm Earth in any way. Next is another villain with Vandal Savage. And I know Vandal might even be a little worse than Lex Luthor when it comes to power and control. I really do not know if Vandal Savage could be trusted, but every attribute he has screams Illuminati. This is arguably the oldest human on Earth. He has thousands and thousands of years of experience with knowledge and information and sabotage, how to run countries, how to serve countries, how to destroy countries. It just feels like Vandal Savage has so much information that at any moment he could mutter 2 or 3 words, or maybe even a sentence that could throw countries into a complete abyss because of how much dirt and blackmail he has on people. When it comes to shifting politics or world power, making decisions like that, Vandal Savage is your guy. I feel like the Illuminati needs to have a magic user, and that's why I threw in Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate may arguably be the most influential magic user in the DC universe. He almost feels like a grandfather of all the magic users in this world. Not only is Ken a very knowledgeable evil and smart man, but with the helmet, it makes him vastly smarter, and you could use him as a type of character who could peer into different futures and kind of calculate which step, which decision would have the best outcome for humanity and the planet. Ken already lives a very secluded and solitary life within his invisible tower, being part of the Illuminati, a very secret and hidden team amongst the world. That would definitely be a fit for him. Now, the next set of characters I outline here have one big thing in common. It is being the leader of their own countries, or simply a massive group of people. The first one of these people is Black Adam. He is the leader and the ruler of Kahndaq. This is a guy who will do whatever he has to do to ensure the safety of his country, as ruthless as he can be, as sometimes evil as he may be. There is one constant he always has. It is the protection of Kahndaq. The one thing going against this is I don't know if Black Adam would have any interest being part of the Illuminati, because the rest of the world is not his priority, but he does have the resources and the power and honestly the knowledge to be part of it. Next, I threw in Aquaman and or Mera. I think it just makes sense. Aquaman and Mera are king and queen of 70% of the entire planet. Whatever big event ends up happening on the surface usually has an after effect down below. And whatever happens down below can certainly have an after effect above. Now, like I said, you could either have Aquaman or Mera or both. All three options work, but personally I think I would side a little more with Mera, considering with Aquaman, especially if he is part of the Justice League. He has a new job now. Yeah, of course he's still King of Atlantis, but he's almost looked at as this poster boy of joining both worlds together. He now has to care for the surface world just as much as he does about the ocean. But with Mera, I'm not saying she doesn't care about the surface world, but she can definitely be a little more prioritized to Atlantis and anything else within the oceans. I also feel like Aquaman wouldn't really have an interest being in the Illuminati, but I think Mera would. Then we have Wonder Woman or Hippolyta. It really doesn't matter in this situation. If you wanted to go with a more popular option, you would go with Wonder Woman. If you wanted to change things up and make this team look a little obscure, you'd go with Hippolyta. It's the same as before. They're leaders of their own entire country, hell, their own continent, and very similar to Black Panther. Their world is secluded from the rest of the other countries. They're shielded. You can't even see where they live from outside of their land. Of course, they live a little more medieval than the rest of the world, but 100% where they excel that maybe other places don't excel around the world is magical properties and ancient materials and items that still have those magical properties. Wonder Woman, Hippolyta, the Amazons would definitely have the resources to contribute to the Illuminati. And I do feel someone like Wonder Woman would have the mindset to be part of this team. I also threw in Ra's al Ghul, who, just like these other characters, has some experience leading maybe a country, and if not a country, a massive group or cult of followers. He's been living for hundreds and hundreds of years. He's definitely got similarities to Vandal Savage too. This guy has crumbled civilizations. He knows what it takes to go to war and to also sabotage from behind the scenes. The biggest thing with Ra's al Ghul is how do you keep him under control? This is a guy who maybe his ideas and intentions are good, but how he goes about it is terribly wrong. Eradicating civilizations and murdering innocents. And I think the resources and the mind of Ra's al Ghul would be very sound for an Illuminati team, but his hunger for power and control, just like Vandal Savage, would be a little dangerous, and you never truly know what Ra's al Ghul's thinking up in that dome. This is a guy who would be willing to be part of this team for 5 years, but through those 5 5 years, he's been slowly planning the demise of every single person on this team. So it's a real toss-up with Roz. Mr. Terrific is another character I placed within this team. He is by far the smartest person on this team alongside Batman and Lex Luthor. But he's so technologically advanced. He's so brilliant in that instance. I full out think he could bring human advancement into the next level. Technology would be upgraded beyond anything we could imagine. In real life today, we're not even a type 1 civilization yet. I think Mr. Terrific would do so much for the Illuminati, and he'd be able to propel humanity forward so much that within a couple of years, we would be a type 1, maybe even a type 2 civilization. But because of Mr. Terrific, we would start to see Dyson spheres orbiting around our sun and other stars. At this point, he would be able to help us utilize 100% of solar radiation and energy. And of course, he would also know and understand the dangers of what certain technology could do if it was released to the public too soon. I also listed Amanda Waller. Now, I understand she may not be the highest of highs within governmental officials in America, but she is still high enough. She's created her own superhero teams. She has had control over them. And in all honesty, I feel like Amanda Waller is the type of character who has more privilege and more dominance than even the President of the United States. It's just that people around her, or at least 99% of people around her, don't actually know that's how powerful she is. I also feel like she's a bit of the wild card or the dark horse to this team, a character that you didn't think would belong within the Illuminati, but she definitely has her skill set and she knows how to make tough decisions in which she has to live with those particular consequences. And then last but not least is a Green Lantern. You could go with Hal, John, Kyle, whoever you want. Personally, I'm going with John. You need a spacefaring character part of this team so they can provide information on what's going on outside of Earth, maybe within the solar system or the outer space regions that surround the solar system. They can also be used to plan planetary defenses against oncoming threats of aliens. With a human Green Lantern and their sector often being Earth, I feel like it's very fitting one of them would have to be part of this team. And the reason why I would go with John is because I think he has the demeanor and the personality to handle some of these very tough decisions. At the end of the day, this is all about the safety and the betterment of Earth. As a Green Lantern, you have to do whatever you can to ensure the safety of your sector. So those are the main characters I thought of, characters who would really take an interest or at least really think about being part of an Illuminati. Here are some honorable mentions. One of them, I had a Guardian of the Universe, more particularly Ganthet. I thought of him because usually he tends to have a little bit more human emotion than the other Guardians, which means he would take more interest in humanity and Earth. Being a Guardian of the Universe, I thought too closely of Quintessence. And this is more so about humanized characters or characters who strongly deal with humanity. So I kept him out of the full list. You could still make an argument for, though. Then I have Brainiac 5 with his intelligence. How do you go wrong? But he's from the future. Then you have Orion, another character who could be used as a Green Lantern type to keep an eye on outer space threats coming down to Earth, anyone who would want to harm us. But also with Orion, I just felt a little too much New Gods, Old Gods energy. I also had Wizard Shazam. He has the age, the experience, the knowledge, and the power, but I just do not think he would want to waste his time on a team like this. He is a god in his own right, so he's probably got other things to do. Another honorable mention was Martian Manhunter, and you could make an argument, no, like he should really be a member of the Illuminati. He has the tough decision making, he has the strength and the power being his abilities for sure. He also has the demeanor to keep everyone in line and to always make sure that this team is following their true purpose, not straying off and doing anything dirty or scummy. The thing with Martian Manhunter is I almost think he is too good. I don't know if he would be able to live with some of the really tough decision making that the Illuminati would have to do, and I feel like he would not last long. Believe it or not, I also threw in Oracle. Particularly, I had this idea in mind. It would not literally be Barbara Gordon rolling in on her wheelchair being a member of the Illuminati. What's up? My name's Oracle. No, it wouldn't work like that. She would have to utilize some sort of proxy, maybe some sort of mysterious benefactor who's dedicated to the cause of the Illuminati. She would be cataloging information and knowledge, not just for herself, but for Batman as well, so that Batman could always keep tabs on what the Illuminati is doing without him actually having to be part of the team and without compromising the identity of Oracle. And the final honorable mention, I threw in Ozymandias. And I know he's a Watchmen character, but as of recent history, Watchmen's lore has been tied in with the overall DC lore. He has pretty much everything that Batman and Lex Luthor have. The technology, the resources, the leadership. But I just think Ozzy is too evil, and I don't think he would be able to work part of this team. You would not be able to trust him in any way. So now, if you did say to me, Tyrell, you gotta pick your top 6 for an Illuminati team, who would it be? It's a little hard to choose from because there is an argument that can literally be made for everyone here, yay or nay, but here's what I would choose in the moment right now. Lex Luthor, Dr. Fate, Mera, Wonder Woman, Mr. Terrific, and John Stewart's Green Lantern. And without diving into too many details, very simply put, you have Lex Luthor as almost a kind of leader for the team. He's a jack of all trades, and he's like a perfect jack of all trades. Technology, leadership, political, defensive, he's got it all. Dr. Fate, you got your magic side of it. Mera, you have the ocean ruler. Wonder Woman, you have a surface ruler. Mr. Terrific, you got your technological advancement guy. And then Green Lantern, you have your space defense guy. So there you go, everyone. That is my list of DC's Illuminati, and that is my in-the-moment made team. So leave in the comments below what your DC Illuminati team would look like, and maybe let me know some other characters I missed out on and I just didn't get around to thinking of. That is all I have for you on this one, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.